Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for the Friday the 13th edition of SmackDown. But before we get into that, let's get the house cleaning out of the way. Shall I leave a like? Comment below, let me know your thoughts on this week's episode of SmackDown. And, of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So, the final show before Saturday night's main event on tomorrow. And, again, WWE has just been really cooking. I did hear that today's was a double taping, and I will say what I said on the Raw double taping before they went on Thanksgiving break. I just think it's a little early. I'm never going to get mad at the talent getting some time off to spend time with their families for the holidays. I would just think if you're going to do it, you would wait one more week because that's December 20th, and then therefore they get that whole week of actual Christmas off. Now, I would assume maybe they did this because the following SmackDown after Christmas is probably going to be a best of the year type show, and then in January because after that, then 2025 will be the first SmackDown of the year. Maybe we'll call it SmackDown Day 1 or some shit like that, even though it'll be the third. But you know, again, I'm not going to complain about it. Maybe the talent does get a little more time off, especially the crew as well, to not set up the cameras and all that. But yeah, that was my only thing. I was just like, it seemed a little early to do the break this time. But again, all for the talent getting some time off. Just a little wondering on the placement of the time off. But you know, if they are going to do this double taping, and then the following SmackDown is a best of the year type show, because I assume they're going to do the same thing for Raw as well, then by all means, do it. But yeah, a lot of stuff happened on this. We're getting set up for Saturday night's main event. Got everything finalized for that. Looks like our next pay-per-view, if you will, is going to be that Raw on Netflix. Got Roman Reigns challenging Solo Sikoa, the Tribal Combat, for the Ulalapa, as LA Knight like to call it. And man, that Raw is getting stacked up, ain't it? Because we got that match, and we'll most likely gonna get CM Punk versus Seth Rollins on that show as well, which I'm all for. Like, don't get me wrong, I am not gonna get mad, you know, on my weekly television to have this quality of matches. It's just they're both not gonna end clean, and two, I just don't want the new audiences that's gonna come in to get this security that, you know, that we're gonna get this quality every single week, because we're just not. It just feels like, hey, you should probably do like your best of this type of weekly show. And you know, the fact that I don't think any of them are gonna win clean, like I fully expect round one of Seth Rollins and CM Punk to end in disqualification. The Tribal Combat match can't, because there are no rules, but you know, that's gonna be part Bloodline rules match anyway. But like LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa tonight, right? Gets the ring. It's a big time match, big time feel. Two guys that we really know that the crowd really react to, one very positively, one very negatively. That's all by design, right? As soon as that bell rung, I was like, well, we're building to a DQ. And I just knew it. And that's kind of just how WWE has got me accustomed to when I know we have a really big main event or a really big match with two really big stars that they both clearly have directions for, and they don't want losing, but they face them together, there will be a DQ. And sure enough, that was the case. Now, LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa was a good match for the most part. But yeah, like I was just waiting for either Jacob to get involved, Tama Tonga to get involved, or Hello Shinsuke to turn the lights off, come back on, and spit black mist into him. Sure enough, you know, we did have a good Friday the 13th little angle where Jacob does come up from the table like he's Jason Voorhees, and then coming up to get the DQ. But yeah, that was the only thing that was bugging me about it. But yeah, it goes back to, you know, well, we're having this weekly TV show, and we're going to build this up like a pay-per-view, and by all means do it. It's just, you know, just have some actual winners and get this out of my where I'm programmed to this, because again, as soon as that bell rung, I was like, well, this is going to be a DQ. And sure enough, it was. And now that I can call it every once in a while, I think that is something that the WWE needs to course correct. Something that WWE did course correct, though, and are doing a really good job, are these WWE Tag Team titles for the men. Really liking the story. I like how there's an actual story for it. I think there can actually be on a pay-per-view. It probably won't. It'll blow off on SmackDown. But DIY doing the video package, like, yeah, Johnny Gargano was like, I was actually the mastermind behind all of this. I told Tommaso Ciampa to get angry, and then I did this, and then I did that. And sure enough, here we are. We are the tag team champions. Motor City Machine Guns have their promo afterwards, and they're saying, we just cannot believe that you did this to us. And then next week, we're going to get Alex Shelley versus Johnny Gargano, which is going to be a fantastic match. Cannot wait to see that. I assume, then we'll do the opposite the following week, and then we'll get the actual tag team rematch where whoever wins at that point. Maybe the Street Profits come into play. I do think this whole program does need to end in a triple threat. Maybe a triple threat ladder match. I don't know if we can extend this feud all the way to Mania, because, we're talking 4 months here, and, we may have 2 weeks worth of buys. But I do think if anything can bring back maybe a TLC match, I do think it is these 3 teams, and I think they could really blow the roof off the place, especially if none of these are going to get transferred over to Raw and this is going to stay on SmackDown. I think you got some foundation here for that. If you can keep this going all the way up to Mania, maybe you can have the titles be flip-flopping throughout, and then it caps off at Mania. But I am really liking what we're doing with the tag team titles on the men's side on SmackDown, because we are doing very well. Did something really interesting with the women's tag team titles. Nick Aldis talking to Bianca saying, look, Jade's investigation is still ongoing. We have no idea who did it. Naomi looked very pleased. And then she goes, well, we're going to have to relinquish it. And Naomi's like, hey, Bianca's never relinquished anything. I'll step up and I will be the tag team champion. Like, well, Naomi, you obviously did at this point. Which is just kind of like, why'd you tag Jade out of the 2? Don't get me wrong. They're both powerhouses. But they clearly booked it where Jade is the stronger one of the 2. So why wouldn't you attack the weaker one and attack Bianca Belair, and then you get Jade all to yourself and then get her on your side and all of that? Maybe Bianca's more naive. I don't know, but I am very interested to see once it is revealed that Naomi no longer feels the glow, and she's the one who attacked Jade Cargill. Maybe there's going to be something within that they both returned or debuted, or Naomi returned and Jade Cargill debuted on the same night at the Rumble, and while Naomi has to scrap and claw her way to even get title opportunities, Jade seems to just have them flown into her lap. I don't know, but I am very curious to see how that's going to go. But yeah, now I'm ready to sign on the dotted line. If Vegas was bet on it, I would bet $100 that Naomi for sure attacked Jade Cargill. And once all is revealed, I think we're going to have some interesting programs within it. I liked everything that we were doing with the tag team division on SmackDown side, both the men and the women. I also really liked the winners that we did for the United States Women's Championship, Meechin and Chelsea Green. Moving on, this was my pick for the finals from the very beginning. You can go back and see all that. Some mess ups here and there within both of the matches. It doesn't really bother me that much within it. I think, for people who are in the middle of the card, this is probably some things that we're going to see quite a bit. I am hoping the women do get some decent time on Saturday night's main event. And I just hope Chelsea Green is the one to win it. I like Meechin as well. If she does do it, I'm not going to be too upset by it, because, again, it is 2 actual mid-carders fighting for a mid-card title. But I just think Chelsea Green has done an amazing job with the year, and I think she deserves to have it capped off with a title victory and to be the inaugural United States Women's Champion. Oh, that'd just be icing on the cake for her, and it would be great for her character as well, which I would assume her first program would be B-Fab. They've been really teasing that quite a bit, so I would assume we go in that direction, and again, just keep elevating the talent up a little bit, especially if we're going to get some more NXT people. Let's get it rocking and rolling, and it'll be all fun and games. But yeah, I like both of the matches quite a bit. Tiffany Stratton just needs to turn face at this point. The crowd is just yearning for it. Once Nia Jax came back and went, not everyone's cut out to be singles champion, and Candice LeRae is being that little bully type thing, and yeah, Nia got us a tag team title match against Naomi and Bianca Belair. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, you're just a pathetic Tiffany. And then Tiffany looks at the briefcase. You hear the crowd go crazy about it. It's time. We cannot drag this out much longer. Some point in January, she needs to cash in on it. And I'm talking early January. I don't know if Nia Jax will be on that Raw Netflix show, but I do think that is a good spot to do it if you're going to do it. A lot of eyes are going to be on it. Let's just blow this up. Let's get this going. Let's get this Tiffany Stratton face turn going. Let's do this program properly between Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton. Put the rocket on Tiffany Stratton's back where she can be a really big baby face. She can join Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley as the faces of the whole entire brand, because, I mean, those are the two girls that always with Triple H. All right, we got some PR stuff to do. Bianca and Rhea, y'all are coming. Tiffany can be there too if we just don't time it too late. So like everything that we did with that, of course, the Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens confrontation was really good to cap it off the show. It was really fun. And, you know, there's not much more to say about it. Like, yeah, Cody may come out with the Wing Angle belt. I still think Kevin Owens should probably win the title. He doesn't need to hold it for a long period of time. But like I said, I don't know how we're going to be doing this transfer portal, and I really don't know how much we're wanting to beef up this Raw. But, you know, he could win the title, then drop it immediately at the Raw Netflix show. He really could. I mean, I would assume that there would be some title matches, and there need to be some title changes on that show, whether that be Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, or maybe a Kevin Owens versus a Cody Rhodes on there. Because I do think we're all going to flip the world champions. I think Gunther is going to SmackDown, and Cody is going to Raw, because Raw is going to be the A show again, absolutely, for sure. They're just putting too much money on for Netflix for it not to be. And, you know, you could have a WWE title match on there where Cody gets it back. And then Kevin Owens is also on Raw, and he goes after Sami Zayn. There's just a lot of things we can do with this. I just think it is the right time to do it. And it really will just... Kevin Owens has had a great year as well. But yeah, that's really it for SmackDown. We also had Jimmy Uso coming out saying, hey, I'm going to be out for a while, but I ain't down and out. Made it clear that the Usos are not getting back together. They are going to go on their own separate paths. Where he was talking about, yeah, maybe I'll be the U.S. champion. Maybe I'll be the world champion. I'm all for him being world champion. I don't see that happening, especially nowhere in the near immediate future. But as U.S. champion, absolutely, let's do it. Or Intercontinental champion, since they're most likely moving to Raw, unless they flip those titles as well. Yeah, let's do it. I'm all for it. But then Drew McIntyre boots him in the face. Maybe Drew goes to SmackDown as well. But I kind of want him to stay within the bloodline, because I think him and Roman could have a really good program. Because, you know, he keeps attacking everyone. And, you know, that's the man who truly started this turn where he has this full-on hate. And I think it would be full-on, full-circle moment if we can do a Roman versus Drew program properly. Now that Roman is the babyface and Drew McIntyre is the obvious heel. And we can blur some lines a little bit, especially with the truth bombs that Drew can bring. But yeah, overall, this SmackDown was great. Set a lot of great things up for the future. Got us ready for Saturday night's main event. What did you think about it? Comment below. Let me know. If you made it this far in the video, please leave a like. I do greatly appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button, as we have tons of content heading your way very soon. Saturday night's main event is tomorrow. And then, of course, we got Raw and SmackDown reviews all the way through. Unless they do those best ofs, then we'll probably take a break on those. But we will be doing the Raw on Netflix. We'll be doing all the SmackDowns as well. So hit that subscribe button for that ride. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Limit Studios.